I know, I'm like 3 weeks late. I just recently got the time to play Deltarune Chapter 1 and 2 on the Switch, and oh boy, was it a thrilling ride. It's safe to say that I liked every single second of it. Toby Fox knows how to make a video game, and I respect that dude quite a lot. The beauty of Deltarune is how similar yet different it is from Undertale. The environment, the story, the music, this is all great and all, but the thing that makes this game different from anything else are the various characters that live in this world. We meet so many different characters during the quest, some that are completely useless and others that you will never forget about. And this is what this video is all about. I'll be telling you about my 10 favorite Deltarune characters. So make sure you played the game before watching this to avoid spoilers, and let's just jump into it. You know how most games have boring tutorials where you learn how to play the game and then they give you a playing guide or whatnot to tell you more? Well, Deltarune has both those things, but it also has a really funny character that is meant to teach you more if you want to learn more. For the low price of $50 dark dollars, Rouxls will let you know all about the secrets of each of your party members. That was pretty useful to me, so useful in fact that I gave Rouxls and his puzzle crew a large donation of $1. And they loved it! In Chapter 2, Rouxls is back, and this time he has a couple challenges for you to take on. Those challenges will make you better at the game, and they will also give you some money and some items, so that's pretty cool. After solving the very difficult puzzle of pushing some switches, you will be stopped on your path by Rouxls, a very beautiful looking checkers piece that looks super happy and lovely. It's also pretty easy to defeat too, but later in the adventure, this piece will come back, but this time will also evolve in a strange way. By reaching the end of the checkers board, Rouxls will gain a crown, grow bigger, and become the King Rouxls. This giant enemy is way stronger than the small piece it used to be, and much more scarier too. I mean, look at those legs! This guy ain't skipping leg day at the gym for sure. The way to defeat this guy is to actually get rid of the King Crown, and to do so, multiple options are actually available. If you bow down before King Rouxls, it will also bow, and in the process will knock his crown down. The second time you fight this dude, you have to use Susie to throw Rouxls at the crown in hope of knocking it down. Now this is some big brain move. There are loads of weird characters in Deltarune, but I think that this next dude is in the top 5 weirdos for sure. Inside of Kaard Castle, you'll see a bunch of near empty rooms, and when you reach them, you are trapped and cannot go back until you solve a very difficult puzzle. Rouxls Kaard has a bunch of intense puzzles for you, and by very difficult and intense, I just mean very easy. This dude is really dumb, okay? He thinks he can trap you with very easy puzzles to solve. Funnily enough, later in the game, you can explore Rouxls Kaard's shop and buy stuff from him, which is kinda weird coming from a supposed enemy. In Chapter 2, Rouxls is back, and this time acts and dresses up like a pirate. Why? I don't know, because he does. To defeat the dude for good, just play this game where you need to claim some little houses, and he'll turn into stone and will be left alone forever. Or probably just until Chapter 3. While visiting Cyber City in Chapter 2, you'll often have to split up and leave some characters behind for a little while. At one point, there's a traffic jam on the road, and it's up to Chris to go unjam the whole thing. By going down this shady back alley, you'll see a mysterious creature popping up of this dumpster bin. This new weird character is very weird looking, but it's the way he talks to you that truly makes him creepy. Spamton is a robot that keeps spamming weird things. He keeps telling you he has a special deal for you and that he's the best salesman ever, which I have trouble believing. If you buy the things he wants to sell you, he promises to make you a big shot. which I'm not so sure what it means, but okay, I'll take it. Most of his attacks involve dollar signs, deals, prices, and other seller's stuff. After you defeat the dude, you can browse his shop and eventually fight him another time, except this time as Spamton Neo, a much scarier version of himself. What a weirdo! At the beginning of each chapter in Deltarune, we get to see Chris's schoolmates and friends. In chapter 1, Susie is introduced and joins you on your quest to save the Dark World, while chapter 2 introduces us to 2 more classmates. For this entry, I want to talk about Noelle Holiday, the reindeer. This shy character is actually quite interesting because you get to learn more and more about her as you progress through the quest. At first, the goal of chapter 2 is to rescue her from the evil queen, but you'll soon realize that she kinda doesn't need to be rescued that much. She manages to escape multiple times during the chapter and even joins your party at some point. We even get to learn that she has a secret crush on Susie, and there's a sequence where we can have them both ride a Ferris wheel in hope of improving their relationship. While not much is told about Noelle Holiday yet, there is some mystery surrounding her parents, her lost sister Des, and I am eager to learn more about this character once the full game drops. Eventually. Deltarune's chapter 1 was all about us trying to get to the king to seal the fountain and save the world or something. The king was mentioned multiple times, but we only got to see him during the final sequence, and to be honest, he's kind of a bland character. This is where chapter 2's bad guy truly shines, as it's introduced in the first few minutes after you enter the new Dark World. Queen is a computer, and it truly shows in the way she acts and talks to people. Although being the main antagonist of chapter 2, she isn't particularly evil. She seems to want to control people, but she also wants them to be controlled, if that makes any sense. Like, she has a plan, but she wants people to willingly be a part of it, which isn't very evil when you think about it. During chapter 2, you'll get to play some arcade games with her, you'll ride a car, you'll eat bananas, and you'll even help her hide from Berdly, the bird that no one seems to like. To defeat her and bring her back to her senses, you'll have to enter a giant Godzilla-sized robot and fight her in a punch-out type combat, which is super fun. In the end, she apologizes and joins you in your town and becomes a good character, which makes me hope to see more of her in the future. This next character is a big nerd. A really big nerd! Berdly the Bird is the self-proclaimed #1 student of the class, and is truly just an arrogant dude when you think about it. During chapter 2, we learned that Berdly's goal was to create a dark world where everyone idolizes him, going even as far as to create a giant golden statue of himself. Okay, sure. What makes me like Berdly is how oblivious he is to everything that happens during the adventure. Berdly is Queen's supposed ally, but it's shown many times that Queen actually hates his guts, even going as far as to hide in a dark alleyway to make sure he doesn't find her. When even the bad guy doesn't like you, you have a big problem. Throughout the chapter, we learn that Berdly may not be as smart as he is made out to be, as he can't even solve simple puzzles and need Chris's help. Berdly ends up opening up to the characters and reveals that the only reason he's smart is actually because of Noelle, and that she is actually the smarter cookie. So in the end, he kinda becomes more humble, which I kinda dig. As I mentioned earlier in the video, the main enemy of chapter 1 is meant to be the king, but as it turns out, the real enemy is actually Lancer, his son. This dude is probably the funniest character in the entire game, because of how dumb and immature he actually is. He's not evil, but he wants to be so bad, and when Susie shows him what being evil truly is all about, well, instead of being scared, he's actually very thankful that she showed him. Eventually, Lancer asks you to create the scariest machine ever that you can use to beat your own butt, and he ends up destroying it because he's too bad at building stuff. Eventually, Lancer joins your party and becomes friends with Susie, which forces him to throw you guys in jail as he doesn't want you to hurt his dad, the king, and he also doesn't want the king to hurt you, his friends. What a cool, refreshing dude. After you defeat the king, Lancer overthrows him and becomes the king of this new dark world, which is probably not gonna work for long considering Lancer is pretty bad at ruling stuff. One of the first characters you'll meet in Deltarune is Rouxls, and he is going to be one of the most important in the game. Rouxls is basically your guide to everything. He's the one telling you about the legend of Deltarune, revealing that you are heroes meant to restore balance to the world. He's the one teaching you how to fight, how to act, and basically, without Rouxls, well, Deltarune just wouldn't make sense. I like how nice and humble he is, and despite being made fun of by Susie multiple times, he still wants her to be happy and is willing to bake a cake for her. In chapter 1, Rouxls is kinda shy and wears a mask, hiding his face, but by the end of the chapter, you'll get to see his true face. And to be fair, I kinda miss the hat. Sorry, buddy. When I first started playing Deltarune, I have to admit I wasn't a big fan of Susie. This character seemed to be a dumb bully and only wants to use violence to solve every problem. While this may be true at first, the more you play Deltarune and the more you see Susie evolve as a character. After betraying you and joining Lancer, she'll eventually realize that fighting may not solve every problem and will join back your crew, this time trying to act nice to defeat enemies. By the end of chapter 1, she'll start being nice to Chris, and in chapter 2, we get to learn more about her relationship with Noelle, and we'll learn that she might have a secret crush on her. She'll even start being nicer to Rouxls and Berdly, which is saying quite a lot. At the end of chapter 2, she'll walk home with Chris and will even go inside his house to bake a pie and sleep over. I think Susie has the most character development in this series, and I just can't wait to see how much more she'll change in the next chapters. Wait a minute! Stop everything! It has been brought to my attention that during the fight against Rouxls Kaard, he says, "The rules are simple." There you go, he's number 1 now. See ya! Thanks a lot for watching this video, I hope you enjoyed it. Smash like and subscribe if you did, and tap the cards on screen right now to watch even more videos. Alright, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!